2.
Prince Edward Island is an island province of Canada, located north of Nova Scotia and east of New Brunswick. Our friend Tommy, along with 8 other friends, planned this route across the island mostly using the Confederation Trail from Tignish in the west to Elmira in the east, making a few diversions from the trail so we could also spend some time biking through the national parks along the ocean in the north. Getting on Prince Edward Island is an experience all its own, along Canada's longest bridge, the Confederation Bridge, which measures 8 miles long and costs a whopping $50 Canadian to cross, a fee that they only charge you when you're leaving the island. But that is a few days away as we all gathered on a sunny Monday morning to start our ride from Tignish.
Sun is shining. We had a little rain this morning. It's already gone. This is a beautiful country, beautiful island. I can't wait to get to the coastline.
Our first day had us sticking to the Confederation Trail for the entire day. The Confederation Trail is a well-maintained trail that we found to be very consistent surface-wise and always well-marked.
So we've left the trail and we're on dirt road here, Route 169, heading down to Green Park, which is where we're going to have our Green Lake Park, I think. Well, Green Lake Park. Anyway, that's where we're camping tonight. And always nice to be on a dirt road.
Green Park Provincial Park was an absolute gem of a find as we had a waterside site with a great view of the sunset and the mussel beds. Speaking of the mussel beds, one of Prince Edward Island's biggest industries is seafood. In almost every bay, cove, and inlet, you will find endless beds like these where mussels and oysters are grown and harvested. Mussels from Prince Edward Island alone represent 80% of all Canadian mussel production and use over 10,000 acres of tidal shallows to do it, which makes Prince Edward Island one of the best places for hungry seafood-eating bicyclists to ride.
Morning of day 2. We just left our campsite at Green Lake. We decided to cut a couple miles off the route this morning so we could enjoy some of the view. So we'll top off a couple miles and we'll be down at Summerside for lunch. And then from Summerside we're heading up to Cavendish, which is a national park along the coast. Total, again, about 50 miles today.
Way better than sticking to that trail. Beautiful. We'll be heading up the other side of that bay later today. It was the second day where we diverted from the Confederation Trail to ride more along the coast and enjoy the views, which involved a lot more road riding. We stuck to the back roads, but found PEI drivers were very patient, and we found the locals to be absolutely wonderful, as some of them even invited us into their homes to take a break and use their bathrooms.
So you may have noticed some of us are without our bags today. Well, one of our riders, Tom's wife, Deb, wasn't feeling well, so she decided to be a sag wagon. And what a luxury. But the trail that goes through a lot of very different landscapes. Goes from, wide open potato farms to deciduous forest. Now we're in this little pine alley. I'm not even sure what the flower is on both sides of me. So we just did lunch in Summerside along the water, nice little place, and now we're heading north towards Cavendish, where we'll spend the night at the national park. And then tomorrow we have a super short day, like 25 miles. We're gonna go from one end of the national park to the other. Take our time with that.
Day 3 started rainy and windy with a nasty, constant 20+ mile-per-hour headwind. Although the views were still incredible, the struggle certainly diminished the day.
Rain's finally slowed down for the most part. And now we're heading up Route 15. And we're gonna pick up the coast, the trail up there from what we understand. And we'll We'll take that east all the way to Stanhope, which is our destination for the day. And the famous Richard's seafood is there also. So we're going to make use of that, because I am hungry already.
Although our entrance to Stanhope was windy and laborious, eventually the wind calmed and the rain parted for the evening, which allowed Michelle and I to get married at the Cove Head Lighthouse.
And by the power vested in me in the marriage act of Prince Edward Island, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Make this the bride. Ring the bell.
Then to enjoy an amazing dinner at the famous Richard's Seafood.
So after a very rainy yesterday, where we were even stuck in our tents till 9 a.m. because of the wind and the rain, and we fought the rain and a headwind. We're talking 10 to 15 mile an hour headwind. But today, it may not be sunny, but we actually have a tailwind. It's shocking. Zero effort practically. And it also helps not having any gear because our sag wagon took care of us. Thanks, Deb. And so today, if we could have a tailwind all day, that'd be amazing. So we spent some time the last 2 days running along the roads on the northern coast so we could get some ocean views, things like that. But as we're moving our way back southeast a bit, we're picking up the trail again. I'm running this down to the St. Peter's area where we have another campsite. And it's a private campsite, which I always appreciate because they tend to have slightly nicer facilities. We shall see. So we stopped here at the St. Peter's campground, and well, tents aren't their main business, obviously, and they really put the tents in a pretty crappy location on a slope next to the road. And we still have that wonderful tailwind we had is, of course, wreaking a little bit of havoc with our tents. But Michelle and I have always been very grateful for our Big Agnes copper spur, and I'm confident she'll hold up for the night. You know, there's a pool here, and that's got my name on it. So after a good swim and some bike maintenance, we found ourselves another amazing seafood dinner at Rick's Seafood, and finally tucked in for our last night on the trail. The following day dawned cool and misty as we set out to finish the last 27 miles to Elmira in our rides home. The entirety of this day's ride was on the Confederation Trail, with its constantly changing environments that never left you bored with the riding. Try to beat the rain. Not successful. We only have about 10k, 6 miles to go. So, try to enjoy ourselves.
Prince Edward Island was a great ride across a wide variety of landscapes and riding conditions that we feel anyone will enjoy as much as we did.